What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 115 of Nintendo Talk. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the most handsome man in all the land, Mr. Patrick McNamara. NintenTalk himself. What is up, my dude?
The hype, Bobby, the hype. It is soon. It's happening.
It's happening. It's definitely happening. So those who don't know, I do a podcast every week with this little guy here.
Little guy.
Little guy. Pat. It's called Nintendo Talk. We decided that we were going to jump in tonight and do something a little different. We were going to do an actual prediction on the Animal Crossing Direct tomorrow. So we both picked 5 ideas that we were going to do, predictions that we're going to make tonight. And then tomorrow we'll see that we're absolutely wrong on every single one. So it just seems about right? So the thing is, we're also doing something a little different. We're streaming on both channels tonight. So we're streaming live on my Twitch right now, and then we're also streaming on Pat's YouTube channel, youtube.com/NintenTalk. So we're going to have some pretty cool stuff. We're going to, if you have predictions and stuff yourselves, at the end of the show, we might actually take those and discuss and go on from there. But dude, I don't think we need to do geek outs tonight, do we?
No, I think we both have the same one.
Yeah, I think we're both pretty geeked out about the announcement of
25 minutes long. How do you feel about that?
I think it's perfect. Perfect. I mean, I don't think it needs to be longer than that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if it's longer than that, you tell too much. If it's shorter than that, you don't tell enough. I think it's a sweet spot.
The funny thing about this is, like, normally directs, like with the Smash one, it's like, oh my god, you're gonna be talking about Smash. I saw no complaints. I saw no negative press about this at all. It's great.
People were happy. People were ecstatic. And and here's the thing. I saw yesterday in my Discord, Skinny Matt was making a comment about how leading in that a lot of people were negative. And I'll just say it. People absolutely had a reason to be negative. When you have a bunch of YouTubers that think they know it all, promising people every single week that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct, it gets people's hopes way up. And then what they think is that Nintendo lied. So they get mad at, because you got to remember, you're also dealing with a lot of younger kids. So I feel like, you have to be careful of your source and where your source is coming from. I will say this, Emily Rogers, home run again. She nailed this. She picked the date and everything. So, if you can follow Emily. I think that's a good thing to do. Yeah. So let's jump into this. Let's start it off. You want to go first? You want me to go first? What are you thinking?
I'll start us off.
Okay, go ahead.
Start us off. Okay. So the first thing I think is we're gonna have a little bit different for Animal Crossing. I think we're gonna have a couple things. First thing is we're going to have crafting levels and also a town level. So basically, and this will help progression and stuff like that. So basically, you can craft certain things, kind of like Stardew Valley. When you start off, you're making like flimsy axes. That's a perfect example. And then as you craft and as you like level up, I don't know if there's going to be an exact level up system or it's going to be time based. Then you can make stronger things or use different materials. And also like the pole that we see in the trailer where you're jumping over rivers and stuff. Maybe you have to get to a certain point in the game to access more of your island. So I think that your island is not going to be fully there when you start the game. So it's going to be a little bit of, you have to work for it. So, and then also town level, as you progress in the game, like all of a sudden your first villager will come in. Like maybe you have to do some stuff to have some villagers move into your town. So again, like a lot of my predictions are based on things I want to know, and progression seems to be the thing that's kind of the question mark here. So those are my two things.
Okay. Well, your predictions aren't based in reality, so we're just going to immediately start off with that. You got hopes and dreams. I got reality over here.
Okay.
That was a bit rough.
Well then,
I apologize. I should have come. I should have come so hot at you like that. Okay, so my first prediction is Nintendo will talk about the Nintendo mobile app, the app that we already have existing that's for Nintendo games. They will explain how voice chat works with this game. They will tell you how you can shop online for items throughout the day, very similar to with Splatoon 2 with Splatnet. And that's what I feel. I feel like they're going to take some time. They're probably going to put a good... I'm going to be as bold as to say they're going to put a good 5 minutes into this thing. Because I think they're going to allow you, and it may not be out at the start, but I think there might be an opportunity for them to allow you to perhaps craft on your phone, and then them items show up in game, or buy things. I think you're definitely going to be able to buy things. I think you're definitely going to be able to shop the Able Sister store or Gracie Grace. Like, I think they're going to utilize the opportunity to do some exclusive items that you can't get normally that is online. And I think that, and let me, before people start freaking out, you're not going to pay for, it's going to still be your bells. You're not going to pay real money for it. It's not like, this becomes a mobile game. This is something that, like I said, they've done with Splatoon 2. It just makes sense to me, and the idea is the way it worked with Splatoon 2 was you could actually buy an item from I forget the kid's name, the little Spike Jr., right? You could buy something from him, and then when you fired up the game, you ran over to the side of the level, and he would have the item for you. And it could be hat, but it's all clothes, it's all apparel and stuff.
So this is through the online app?
Yes, through the Nintendo app. I think it's going to be through. The one where you actually talk with voice. People never use it, you know what I mean? But like the voice chat app, basically.
I have to think that if they do that, this has to be like the last ditch effort to get people to use it. I don't use it. I don't really know.
I never use it. Now there's times when I play Mario Kart and it chimes and it tells me that somebody's using the app, but I never go in and use it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, let's be honest. Who wouldn't prefer us to be able to talk in game like we do with Fortnite? Like, that's the ideal way to do voice chat. This nonsense with this mobile phone, like, please, Nintendo, stop it. Just stop it. If that's how the Japanese kids want to do their voice chat, let them do that. Give us the ability to do in game like you do with Fortnite. And the crazy thing is, when Fortnite first started, that voice chat was trash. It would cut out when you were going from the lobby to the game. It doesn't anymore. It never shuts off. It just stays streamlined. And then it also works like if people are on PS4 or on Xbox, like it's cross-generation too. So I just wish Nintendo would embrace that and make that something.
So what do you think about, going back to a little bit what I said, about not having the entire island at your disposal right away?
So that's been heavily rumored that part of the island is going to be locked off.
Because you see someone jumping over the river.
Yeah.
So maybe like there's a giant river going through your town or something?
Oh, there absolutely is. Is. Every single Animal Crossing that we've ever played, part of the island would be locked off, but there was always one bridge. So there was always one bridge where you would have to but it was way out of the way.
Yep.
So you were always happy when you were able to unlock multiple bridges. In New Leaf, you start with one bridge, and then by the end, you have 3 bridges, and then you can actually customize the bridges to be however you want them to be. I think that makes a lot of sense. What you said, I think, makes sense to some degree, because you kind of want people to keep coming back, and the thing with Animal Crossing is something is always locked. There's always something locked behind something, and I think that could be this. I think that absolutely there could be part of the island locked back that you just can't get to. Maybe it's a few days. Like, because here's an example. With New Leaf, the island is locked. Like, you can't get to the island until a couple of days. And then suddenly a boat shows up. Like, Tortimer comes and goes and tells Isabelle, like, I want to see this kid. Tell him to come see me. And then you go down and there's the boat, and there's Captain, and he takes you out to go talk to Tortimer, right? This is something that Nintendo always does. Gracie Grace. You can't get Gracie Grace's store in New Leaf until you upgrade your stores to a certain level, and then she shows up in town, and then all this stuff has to happen. You can't get Club LOL, where DJ KK shows up, right? You have to wait. You have to do all these different things to get permits signed and all that in order to unlock that. Like, you look at New Leaf, the whole city thing was locked behind stuff.
Yeah.
So absolutely,
I just feel like
can
they're going
see
to
that's going to happen.
I feel like they're going to strip way back. It's going to be like a Castaway type thing.
I think
I'm for it. So wait, is it my turn to go second? Okay. All right. So my other prediction is...
Hold on. So you didn't talk about what you thought about my online thing.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. For me, the app seems like they're going to have to sell this. Like, they're going to have to really, like, focus on, you can play this game anytime, anywhere, even if you don't have a Switch. And if they make it fun, if they make it user-friendly, I'm all for it. I think the challenge is going to be having people, like, I don't even have it downloaded anymore. I have to, like, I would have to re-download it and just fully, like, commit again.
Yeah.
I could see it happening, though. I feel like they want to make this game accessible, and without forcing Pocket Camp in there, I think mobile
I don't think Pocket Camp has anything to do with this game.
Yeah.
I don't think they integrate it at all. I mean, I'm sure we might get into that, but go ahead. What's your second prediction?
Okay. Second prediction. So if you look on the back of the Switch, like, special edition, there's a sailboat, like, pretty prominently in the center. I think that traveling to different islands is going to play a big part of this game. So I had multiple islands, and then some of the islands that I had in mind, a shop island, like a city kind of island, a online island where, like, you could just see, like, tons of players, like, that are currently online, just maybe trading goods, have, like, a market type thing. And then this could also be a way, which I don't think they're going to mention, that's kind of one of my other ones, but future DLC, this could be a way for them to access it. So if you don't buy the DLC, you can still do some things, but you can't travel to this specific island. So I think that, whether it's the sailboat, the plane, or whatever, I think different islands is going to play a big part.
So here's the thing. My second prediction is actually an island. So we'll get into that a little bit. They will show off an island that you can travel to. Harv runs this island. On this island, you will play games very similar to how Tortimer's Island was on New Leaf. I feel like this is very integral. They are pumping up this whole idea of co-op, friends playing together. They have to have something for us to do. If it is literally like City Folk, where you're all sitting in your town and you're just basically running around trying to make up stupid games, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's going to flop. I feel like you have to have a place for people to go with mini games. And to be honest with you, Tortimer's Island was fantastic. You go out there with your friends, you all go out there, you pick mini games with, like, fishing contests and bug catching contests, and you whack this thing with a hammer and stuff. Like, there was all this cool stuff that you could do out there. I think that, other than Tortimer, though, I think that Harv runs this. We do see on the cover of the game Harv in the distance waving. He's on an island all by himself. I have a feeling that might be what he's doing out there. But I like the idea, and I've talked about this before in one of my videos. I talked about how I feel like we're going to get islands. I feel like there might be a shopping island, like you said, where the stores are, or there could be, like, a mineral island where there's, like, rocks and stuff for us to mine and get the stuff that we need in order to build our gold shovels and our pickaxes and all the whatever else we have, like, your regular axe, it's a gold axe. Or I think the nets and stuff will be what it always has been, where, like, that'll be locked behind the fact of, like, hey, you are getting this by collecting all the bugs. But I think there's definitely I have a feeling there's going to be multiple islands. At least one, and I feel like that island is going to have games and things for us to do.
Yeah, my one thing about the islands, though, I mean, this has always been a thing in Animal Crossing, but, like, the loading screens and, like, how you're going to get there and breaking up gameplay. So there's definitely going to be some kind of loading screen, but I just hope that it's, minimal. Because what is it? Like, City Folk, there was, like,
a while. There was, like, City Folk was, like, 4 load screens.
Yeah, to get to the city.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy.
I mean, I would love just an online, like, a online player island where you're just like bartering goods and just open market type thing.
I originally had wanted to have something where there was like a hub.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted like a hub town, or some place that you would go to meet people, and they could be all on your friends lists. Maybe it's just all your friends hanging out in one location, and then you could be like, "Hey, you want to go back to my town? I got some items. You want to buy them?" Or that would be cool. I'd be all for it.
Mm-hmm.
What is your third prediction here, Pat?
So you're going along with that? You think multiple islands? Is
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So here's my next one. So I think they're gonna do a classic Nintendo move. So I think in order to have friends visit your town, we're gonna have a friend code type thing. I don't know what it's gonna be. If it's gonna be symbols, it's gonna be numbers. Friend codes to invite / visit friends towns, and you'll be able to adjust the freedom and restrictions to what your friends can do in your town. So like you won't have friends coming in and like chopping all your trees down and stuff like that. It might be limited, and also offline play in your friend's town.
Okay. You said a lot here, so let's break this down.
Just need some codes.
There will be no friends codes in this thing. This will be
town codes?
No, this will be like everything else that we have. If you are friends, you can link up. Now, there was this thing that they did in New Leaf where it was you could make people your best friends, and those people could like come and go. Like it was easier for them to get to your town and stuff. But I don't think that they have like I think that if you're on the friends list, you can come in. Once you open them gates. Now, it might be something like this. There might be a level of I just want to unlock my gates for my best friends. And then anybody that I've given a heart to on my friends list, they can come in. Like they can come in. Yeah. And then I can open my gates to everybody, and then they can come in. That's what I think would. To me, that makes sense, at least. Because what's the point? Like, I know it's a very Nintendo thing to do, to be as stupid as to go like, hey, you had to put a friend code in order to add people to your Switch. Now we're going to make you add another friend code. Like, they don't do that with Mario Kart. They don't do that with Smash. They don't do that with any mobile game that they have, or not mobile game, any online game that they have right now. They don't do this.
Yeah.
I just can't see them doing this for this game. It doesn't make a lot of sense for me.
So now, all you need to be is friends.
I think you just need to be town. Yes, I think you just need to be Switch friends, and then. But I would love to see them do, like I said, a tier system on the gate. Like I want to allow my best friends to come in now, and anybody that I give a heart to. For someone like me, right? My friends list is absolutely full on my Switch. Why?
Yeah.
Because I play with the community all the time. Mario Kart, all this stuff. Like, it's something that I do. But that doesn't mean that I want all those people to just come to my town at any given time, because I don't really know the level of, like, you know what I mean? Like, there might be trolls that I play with.
Yeah,
they come in, they start tearing my town apart. I'm in trouble, you know? I would like to let people that I really know in the community come in, you know? So I hope that they would have that type of thing where I can adjust. Because there is a feature where we can make people best friends in our Switch. Yep. You know, so it would be nice to, like, hey, your best friends can come in now. Hey, your casual friends can come in now. So that would be kind of cool. As far as the thing you stated about different levels of friends, where
different like restrictions.
Yeah, different. You could set restrictions on it. Like, you give me a restriction where I can come in and I can water your flowers. I could chop your trees. I could do whatever I want to do. When they before this game was announced, that was something that I said I would like to see happen, and also the offline thing. So I don't think they'll do it though.
Yeah, it might be a little tough to do like custom restrictions, and there might just be like one thing.
Mm-hmm. I think it's more susceptible that they'll do what I just said about you could put a restriction on your gate about who can come in and who can't. Yeah. As opposed to a restriction on certain people to who can come in and who can't, who can water flowers, who can do stuff. It's tough. It's hard to say. It would be kind of cool.
I hope it's a little better than the Dream Diary or the Dream
Suites. Yeah.
format.
And now
Yeah.
I hope. See, now here I am, and I'm hoping that the Dream Suites come back because I love the Dream Suites. I thought the Dream Suites were so cool, especially going to the Japanese towns. Dude, them people just made some amazing stuff.
Really I hope there's more like, the town being alive though. Like I hope I log on after, I don't know, you came into my town when I was offline or something, and it was like, oh, you just missed Bobby, or you just missed like James or something, like just to make it feel like, oh, my friends were here.
That would be kind of cool.
Leaving letters and stuff, and like,
telling your villagers what kind of a tool bag you are. That'd be awesome. I love it. Okay, so my third prediction is Isabelle. They are definitely talking about Isabelle. There is no doubt about it in this direct. They are going to tell you what Isabelle does in this game.
And what is her role, my good sir?
Her role is going to be the island planner. She will notify you of special events being held, whether it be like a fireworks show that night or a concert that they may have going on, or if there's workout sessions in the morning like they did at the GameCube. Hey, at 5 o'clock over by the the town square, we're going to have workouts in the morning or whatever. She's also going to tell you when new villagers want to move into town and just basically tell you like, hey, here's a new villager. Where do you want them to live? And then you get to plot and place where they go. And then lastly, I think she's also going to notify you of, hey, the villagers or the islanders have all decided that they want you to build a windmill.
Yep.
Where do you want to place it? Do you want to place it? Do you want to do it? Stuff like that. So that's what I feel like her role is. Her role is kind of like your secretary, but in a different terminology thing. But she'll still do kind of the same stuff. More of, here we go. We're gonna run around town and show you what to do.
Yeah. I kind of had her as like a facilitator, like part of the progression. Like, hey, or at least giving you hints, like, oh, shouldn't you be like cutting down trees right now, or I don't know, something like that. Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay. See, that's good. That's good. Where are we at? We're number 4?
Yes, number 4. Okay. So, no DLC will be mentioned at all. I don't think it should, honestly. But they do kind of hint at the promise of more future updates. So, I'm not ruling out DLC. I think it would be a big mistake if they mentioned it, considering this game, like, no one really knows anything about it.
Yeah.
But they kind of hint at future. I know this is kind of a vague prediction, but it's like future updates. I don't know what that will entail, but the multiple island system will make it so that they can just add an update and all of a sudden you can access this new island. But future updates, we hear that term, future updates.
I think if they come out the gates and they go, hey, we're going to have DLC and you can buy a season pass, and they don't really tell you what it is, man, people are going to be pissed.
Yeah,
turn on them. I think that
be the wrong move.
The smart move would be, we are going to continually update this game, and when we have more information later on, we will let you know. And that's something you have to look forward to. But as of now, this game is, because you want people to know that like this game is complete. This game is. I'm plunking down $60, and this game is done. Because if I put down $60 and then a month later they're like, "Hey, can you give us another $30 or $20?" Then people are going to get mad.
There's no rush to do it. Like this game is going to be around for a while.
They have time. They have a lot of time to. But I think it might be something that they do discuss in terms of like, because I think you're right on this. I think you're right in the fact of like they're going to reference something to let people know that they are continuing to work on this game. They're continuing to tinker with this game because they did it with Splatfat or Splatoon. Like they told us out the gates, like, "Hey, we're going to continue to evolve this game and grow this game." They did it with ARMS. When there is an add-on strategy, they're pretty forthcoming with that information, And I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, they even told us Breath of the Wild was going to get like some type of package, because if there's a season pass type thing, they're going to want to sell it out the gates. But
I just want to stop you for a second. Yeah. So at this time right now, we've been streaming for 25 minutes. The direct's over. We know everything.
No, we don't. You stop. You're such a. So what I think is that I really truly believe that you're right. I think that they won't announce DLC, but they will talk about maybe I think they're going to talk about a season pass, because I think they're going to do add-ons as time goes on. You know what I mean? Like they've always, that's the one thing with Animal Crossing. They have always given us additional content. Like when you think back to New Leaf, you think back to Japan got a 7-Eleven set. We used to go to Best Buy and get items out of the Best Buy store. So I totally see them, if they have partnerships already formed, talking about them. And expressing that, like, hey, we're going to work these partnerships and this is what's going to happen. I could totally see them going like, hey, go to Best Buy on launch day with your Switch and you'll have an exclusive item. Like, I could see them doing something like that.
That'd be cool.
But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so my next Nintendo Direct prediction. Nintendo will show off a few new fish and bug species. And let us know that they have added a total of 10 each. So 10 new bugs, 10 new fish to be caught. And they will also show off the museum at that point and explain how the museum will work.
Ooh.
So that's a little bit of a big one. I think that's how they lead in. I think they say, like, hey, we got you've been catching fish and you've been catching bugs and we know you love it. Here's 10 more fish. Here's 10 more bugs. All brand new stuff that you've never seen before. And by the way, you can store them and you can show them off when you catch them in the museum. And here's the museum and here's Brewster and have at it. So I think that's going to be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I would like a feature where you can compare, like, Bobby's caught 60 bugs out of 100 and you've only caught like 49. Like, just something where I can see, like, my friend's progression as well. I like that, though. I think the museum has been a lot of skepticism on this, so I think they announce it too, or they show it a bit.
Yeah. What is your fifth and final prediction?
All right, this one might be the best one. Okay. A new Tom Nook Island amiibo, where he's wearing an island shirt, he's chilling. But to the point of amiibos, I think we're gonna get amiibo support. I think it's gonna be like literally scanning in villagers, which people are indifferent about. I just think you gotta do something. I don't know if they'll re-release the older ones because there's a lot out there.
Exactly. They're all there.
But I think we're gonna get a Tom Nook amiibo, an island Tom Nook amiibo.
So this is actually my final prediction. I said Nintendo will go into the Amiibo functionality because it's already pretty much announced or shown that we're going to get Amiibo functionality. They will tell us all the old Amiibo will now work in this game. All Amiibo cards will work in this game, and they'll explain what they'll do. And then they'll also explain that we're getting a new line of figure Amiibos. Meaning you'll get Tom Nook, you'll get Isabelle, probably a new KK slider, maybe a couple more, and new Amiibo cards as well for the new villagers that they have coming in. Now, that being said, I think they go a step further, and I think they say to you, hey, if you want to unlock the cards, you need to unlock a town hall. So once you get to the point where you unlock a town hall, you are then able to scan in your Amiibo cards and bring in villagers as you wish. But I think out the gates they're going to want to put a little lock behind on that and not allow that to be fully functional across the board. So that's my
So Miles in the chat says that Amiibo support, there will be Amiibo support, but I think it will be minimal. I do agree with that, just because, like, name a recent game that's used Amiibo like a lot. I know we're talking about Animal Crossing, but I think Amiibo cards is a good idea.
Smash, Link's Awakening had it in there. I mean, look, Amiibo is kind of a thing of the past, but the thing is that they have a lot of people that spent a lot of money on Amiibo for Animal Crossing, and I think they're going to allow those people to have it. It's just going to be something they're going to allow. I
think New Horizon Amiibo cards would be a home run, dude.
Yeah.
Like, That would be amazing. And maybe you have like a museum type thing where like you scan an amiibo and that's like 1 out of 100. I know it's like a paywall museum thing, but
Well, what I would love, and I talked about this when I did my Amiibo video, is I would love for them to go every single Amiibo is scannable, and we are going to give you merchandise based on that. Meaning, it could be anything. It could be a shirt with a Mario print on it, or if you scanned in the Odyssey Mario Amiibo, they give you a white top hat. If you scanned in Peach from Odyssey, you get a wedding dress. Like, it would be kind of cool if they just let it go wide open and include every Amiibo in there. I don't think they will, but I would love it if they did. So there's one thing I want to talk about real quickly, because there's something that's been thrown around, and I've been hearing it a lot the past couple of days, because it's popped back up on the website, and that is in-game purchases. I'm of the belief that they posted in-game purchases.
they took it off, right?
It went back up. It went back up this week. So it's got people really nervous. My feeling is that is for Nintendo Online. I feel like they're going to allow you a way to buy Nintendo Online through Animal Crossing. And in order to do that, they had to appease the United States government and put that on there. If there was microtransactions throughout this game, it would have been on the Japanese back of the game. It would have been on the German one. No other country except for the United States mentions this or references this. And I think that's because it's part of the ESRB that, again, they're going to sell Nintendo Online through the game, and they had to be forthcoming with that information. Because why would the other regions not show it? Especially the UK, especially Europe. Like, that's a totally different animal, man. They have to, like, they set the pricing, not Nintendo. So I would think that if they were going to do something, it would have popped up. What is your feeling on the whole microtransactions, on all this stuff? Like, what's your take on it?
I don't think that there's going to be like a million different microtransactions in this game. Like, you want a hat, you want a special shovel. Like, I think it's going to be what you were saying, the online, and I think eventually you're going to be able to buy a sort of season pass or DLC.
Yeah.
I don't really see like a lot of purchases with this game. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but I don't see like a special currency. Like when you're playing mobile games, it's like free currency and then the paid one. I don't see that with this game.
I don't see it at all. And here's the thing. Again, we go back to the beginning of the stream. We talked about the YouTubers that were lying to people.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. These guys are doing whatever they can to get people to click their videos, and they're lying to you. They're telling you that Nintendo is going to incorporate microtransactions, and that is not the case with this game. I will go as far as to this. I do not believe that if Nintendo is putting out new hats, new shirts, new clothes, all that stuff, they will not charge you for a single bit of that. I talked about it this week in a video, right? And I said, if Nintendo does that, that means that they have to give you all them items the minute you log in.
Yeah.
Right? Think about Breath of the Wild. They were available. You had to go find them, but it wasn't hard to find them. You know, they kind of like made it a little bit of a chase. But they are not going to say to you like, hey, give us $30 and here's 50 items, right? And then those 50 items might never show up. Like, that's
not very.
It's not
Animal
very.
Crossing, like.
Yeah, it's not what they do in Animal Crossing. When you think about like Splatoon 2, the way they did a drip feed of different gear, like when we got upgrades, like expansions and passes and stuff, other than the Octo expansion, we would get weapons, we would get gear, and they would just slowly show up in the store. They didn't charge us a dime for any of that. And I think that people that believe that there's microtransactions based in this game and are worried about it, I think your fears are just, you need to let them go. I don't think it's anything you got to be worried about.
As far as the Amiibo thing, going back a little bit, like we mentioned Breath of the Wild a little bit. That's my favorite way of Amiibos, like in a Switch game. Like, I feel like if you have a Fox Amiibo and you swipe it in, you should get like a mystery crate or mystery like thing. I really like that, like random items. It could be like a fish, like a couple bells. Like, that's the way I would like it. Someone mentioned, and we didn't have any kind of time travel predictions, but I feel like we should mention this. How do you think they're going to handle time skipping?
They don't see, and this is the thing. Okay, we need to really need to get people on board with this. People
Yeah.
think that the reason why Nintendo will not allow cloud saves is because of time travel. Nintendo does not care about time travel. They put it in there on purpose. They punish you if you do it, right? So it's a risk reward thing. It's like, hey, you can go time travel, but when you time travel, there's a butterfly effect. There's things that you'll do that'll affect and mess up. Meaning, you time travel, all your turnips go rotten. If you time travel, your flowers die. If you time travel, these gigantic spores could start to emerge, and you can never get rid of them. And it was a way. It was like a red badge to be like, to show people like, oh, this guy, he time travels. But here's the thing: they have like T-shirts that they give in the original GameCube version, right? They had T-shirts for like 20 years, like that had the year on it, right? So every New Year's, you would get a new shirt. Well, who's playing that game for 20 years? I mean, I know there's people that have, but like, the idea is you time travel in order to get those items. And
So you're saying I'm going to be able to turn on the game and celebrate Christmas if I wanted to?
you can do that if you want to. What you would do is you would go in, you would change the time.
No, this new one I'm talking about.
Yeah. You go into your system, you change the internal clock to say whatever it is, and then it tricks the game to thinking that's the date, and it would let you go do it. Nintendo is not going to stop that. Yeah. The reason why Nintendo wants to stop cheating, and this is where it comes down to, has nothing to do with time travel. I listened to NVC the other day, and Pear was on board with what I was thinking. They had people on there that, I'm sorry, they're very uneducated when it comes to Animal Crossing. And they're talking about stuff that makes no sense. It has nothing to do with time travel. It has to do with duping and power saves. Those are the reasons why Nintendo is trying to stop cloud saves. Power saves is identical to what cloud save is. Cloud save, with power saves, you could get. I had a friend of mine that had an island with all these hybrids, or a town with all these hybrids, all these bells, all these. You go there, you could grab whatever you wanted, take it back to your town. When the town was depleted, she'd go back, reset it back to the next day or the day before. You go back, all the same items are there. Mm-hmm. That's what they're trying to avoid. People cheating like that. And where it becomes a problem, and people don't think it's a big deal, but it is a big deal, when people are selling items and they're selling villagers on Facebook, on Twitter, for extremely high amounts of bells. And it's not something that, like, I could care less. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in it for a pure gameplay, fun. Yeah. But there's kids out there that were legitimately getting ripped off and getting trolled and getting made fun of and all that stuff. And it's like, they're just trying to make the game...
And then you don't even want to play the game anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just trying to make the game enjoyable for all. That's all it boils down to.
Is there a way they could lock it out, though? Like, because I know that from your system time and then the game time, like, the Switch can run its own clock. So it is very possible that they could block all that out. But like you were saying, do they really want it?
They don't care about that. That's not even a thing at all. Like, time travel is encouraged. They're okay with time travel.
Yeah.
But there's a cause and effect that happens with time travel. Yeah. I just want to see something too, because Chris O'Brien just came into my chat and he said there's a new Animal Crossing ad that just went live on YouTube, and I want to see. Let's see what it is. Animal Crossing GameCube commercial. I don't know. Chris, do me a favor. Drop it in the chat if you can. I would love to see it. Because I don't see anything new popping up in my stuff. So apparently it's out there, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
If you can, Chris, put it in my Twitch chat, please.
So I feel like that was a hot topic, time travel, and especially in New Leaf, plot resetting and stuff, and it's going to be interesting. I don't even think they mentioned it. It's just going to be like something we find out.
They're not going to talk. The only thing they're going to talk about with all this is they're going to announce and they're going to talk about the cloud save option. the option of, hey, if your Switch breaks, if this happens, this is how you'll be able to recover your stuff. Because that's what people need to know at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
People need to know, hey, man, I broke my Switch. How do I get my stuff back? Because that's going to be the most infuriating thing if you're not able to recover your island, and obviously cloud saves would make that easy, but unfortunately you have a bunch of people that just take advantage of the system and upset people, so they can't have that.
With all of our predictions, we talked about quite a bit of stuff, and that would take up a lot of time. Out of the 25 minutes, what do you think is the actual amount of time where we find out some new stuff? Like, I feel like there's going to be new, places and animals throughout the whole thing, but there's going to be a lot of regurgitation. We've seen a 20-minute treehouse. We've seen multiple ads, multiple trailers and stuff. Out of that 25 minutes, what would get you excited? I mean, the whole thing, but like, what happened?
So on Twitter, they have a 11-second advertisement.
Oh my god!
And I seen a guy with an outdoor pizza oven that he puts it down and spins it and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I love it.
Pizza oven confirmed, guys.
Pizza oven confirmed. Lose your minds, people. Let the hype begin. I think it's pretty cool. I think
half of this direct is going to be fluff.
I think that you're going to. Yeah, I'm with you. I think
you're going to go like basic stuff.
I think if you got 25 minutes, I think 15 minutes is really talking about what we want to know. I think there's going to be a lot of fluff in there. I don't think they're going to dive in and really explain for the whole 25 minutes. I would like to be wrong. But at the same time, like, do we really want to know everything? I think there's probably, a handful of things that we have to know.
Yeah.
There's a handful of things that, we have to know.
Multiplayer is going to be a big focus. You know that.
Absolutely. They have to. They got to explain how it's going to work, especially with this being the first time that 8 people can come to a town at once. Also, they charge for online now. So how does that work? Now, I've heard a couple of things. I have heard that, if you don't have Nintendo Online, you can still visit people's towns. But my understanding is that it's either local or you could just go to one person's town. Like, you can't go if there's a bunch of people there, you can't be there. That's my understanding. I could be wrong. Or they might do it where you can go to people's towns, you just can't invite people to your town. I could see them doing something like that. But it's going to be interesting, how it all works out. Oh, my God.
I'm so excited. Dude, multiplayer has to be a big part of it. And I feel like I'm gunning for the multiple islands thing.
I mean, but here's the thing. I don't know necessarily... I could see them talking about there's a way to get multiple islands, but I could also see them trying to hold back and... You know what I mean? Just saying to you, hey, there's a way to get to multiple islands. Can you figure it out? Or,
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool if they did... You know how they do, escape rooms in real life?
Yeah.
Would it be kind of cool if they did, escape islands? Where, you go to an island and you and 2 or 3 friends have to get off that island. You have to figure out how to get out of each room because that would be so amazing.
That'd be cool. I just want to see more gameplay. Like Animal Crossing is very walking around. It's a nice vibe, but more gameplay and more multiplayer experiences, but not reliant on multiplayer. Because I know not a lot of people or not everyone can have friends online and stuff. But I don't know. For me, I just think that you're going to start out with this deserted island, and it's up to you to make a town out of it. But I don't necessarily know if shops and stuff are going to come. I don't know if that's a separate island.
See, that's the thing. That's something that was kind of rumored about this week because that strategy guide went up for pre-order, and people kind of started breaking it apart and translating it and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a rumor. There's a rumor floating that stores won't come to town. Which, I'll be honest with you, that would upset me a little bit. I want to be able to build, stores and have stores there. But also, they're talking about how you have, it might be an online thing where you buy your items online and they just show up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if that's how it starts out, right? And then that very top part, right, of the map, you
Yeah.
can go in there and it's maybe like undiscovered area, and you go and you start chopping down trees and making areas for the stores to start showing up. Like that would be awesome.
Or maybe like your village, like one of your villagers or something makes like a market-esque thing, like a really like tent looking thing, and then you can go to a bigger city or something. Maybe they sell like materials and stuff. I don't know. I saw very early in the stream someone was talking about holidays. Do we have any glimpses of? I don't know if it's going to be exactly the mascots that we're used to, but I feel like holidays have to be a thing.
Holidays are definitely there.
Yeah.
I think it is the same. Jingle will be there. Jack will be there. Pave will be there. Like you're gonna have all the people back. They're not gonna change that up. That's gonna be there because it is such a huge part of the game, especially in the wintertime. Those are the things that push you through the winter. Jingle coming to town. That's what gets you. It's the dead of winter. You know. New Year's will happen where they'll do a countdown like they always do, and they have this big countdown clock and all that stuff. Like there's going to be a lot of stuff that they do for this game that's going to be there. I think they even add on some holidays. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they added on some holidays. So I think the holidays are there. I don't think they touch that at all, and I think we're okay with that stuff.
Now with New Leaf and stuff, were there like region specific holidays, or was it all just like? Was there like a Chinese New Year?
No, because China doesn't. There might be with this game because the Switch is in China now. But I don't know. I don't know that they. If I'm not mistaken, there weren't Chinese, or I mean, there weren't specific regional holidays. Everything was kind of like Toy Day was Christmas, Thanksgiving, and then Halloween. New Year's, they did like now. Okay. This is where they did specific stuff. They would do specific holidays that weren't big events. Like you would have like President's Day in the United States, and they might like in that particular moment, like Isabelle would be out there with an American flag. And what was kind of cool was it only was in your region. Yeah. So like that's where you would start to trade items with Japanese players because then there would be like rice patties and rice cookers and stuff that were exclusive to Japan, and then you would go, hey man, I got this American flag, you want to trade for that, and the trades would happen that way.
So this time for President's Day, just a big wall appears in your town. Someone just said the Able sisters are on the island on the commercial that was just uploaded.
I didn't see them.
Mr. Roche.
Let's see. I'm going to watch this again real quick.
I like how things just like break into our thing.
I know. Well, that's good, man. So here it is.
Yeah.
You see a girl on a rock, a girl laying out at the beach.
Is it on Nintendo of America Twitter?
Hold on. I'll watch it again. I got distracted from it. Just stop talking to me, Pat.
On the scene with the brick path, he says.
I'm looking. I don't see the Able sisters, but I'm going to stop it if I can. I'll just stop it there when I get to that point. The scene with the brick path. There's the one. I don't see the Able sisters though. Like that's the thing. Like I don't see if the Able sisters are. I don't see maybe the store. Oh yes, it is. The store's in the background. He's right. Yes, you have
it's on your island.
It's on the island. It is on the island. Yeah, the path goes and it goes deep, and then in the distance, because it's kind of got that barrel move, you can see the Able Sister store back there. So we do get stores. That's awesome.
All right, so
that's
part
awesome.
of mine is wrong.
That is awesome. I like that. Well, your one prediction's wrong.
I still think you're gonna. I still think you're gonna have to work for it, though.
Yeah.
It's not just gonna be like day one. They're there.
That's awesome.
This is the Nintendo Twitter.
This is This is the AC New Horizons news.
Okay.
So I don't know where that came from, but it's on there right now. So, okay. Plus there's a clothes menu too. There's a scene where you're like changing and all your clothes kind of pop up around you, which is a little different than what they've done in the past. So, but I think we're good, right, Pat? You got everything you need to talk about? We're all good. So
good.
that is
Hype.
all. Thank you guys for checking out this live, exclusive, extra special edition of Nintendo Talk. Episode 115 is now in those ear holes. Be sure to check out everything that Mr. Patrick McNamara here does over on YouTube, youtube.com/NintenTalk. Also on Twitter at NintenTalk. You can check me out, youtube.com/Nintendo Guru, and everywhere else. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. It's Nintendo Gurus. Last time for the evening. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Get hyped.
Definitely get hyped. Where'd you get that deep voice from?
Get hyped.